Take a look at these roads. This is where human courage gets tested. To cross them, you have to gamble with danger at every step. Every single meter becomes an unforgettable experience for anyone who dares to continue. Today, join us as we begin a journey to explore 25 of the most dangerous roads on Earth. Routes so extreme, so unbelievable, you might not even think it's possible for anyone to survive them. Bertof Yolu, Turkey. Do you have nerves of steel to navigate these roads this time? And we're in Bertof Yolu, Turkey. Dubbed the Road of Death, Turkey's Bertof 915 has been voted the most dangerous road in the world. This road is about 106 kilometers long. But the most terrible section is at the Sonda Pass. Here you face 29 hairpin bends, so sharp that trucks often cannot navigate them all in one go. What's noteworthy is that this road has no guardrails. Just one small mistake, and the car will plunge straight into the abyss. It was built for tourism purposes. It was constructed by the Russian army in 1916 during the war with the Ottoman Empire. North Youngest Road, Bolivia. Due to extremely poor driving conditions, the youngest road in Bolivia is nicknamed the Road of Death. This road connects Bolivia's capital, La Paz, with the lower Yungas region in the Amazon rainforest. To do so, the road must traverse the majestic Cordillera Oriental mountain range. Starting from La Paz, the first Yungas road climbs to an altitude of 4,650 meters at the La Cumbre Pass. This steep slope of over 3,650 meters is one of the longest continuous downhill stretches in the world. According to some estimates, between 200 and 300 people die on this road each year. Fairy Meadows Road, Pakistan. This road is approximately 16 kilometers long, starting from Riot Bridge on Karakoram Highway and leading up to Tao Village. This is a narrow rocky dirt road carved directly into the side of the mountain by the hands of the local people. There are sections just wide enough for a small convertible Jeep nicknamed the Unreal Places. You can't make a U-turn. You can't avoid oncoming traffic unless one side reverses for kilometers. With unpaved roads made only of gravel and sand, even a light rain or minor landslide can make the surface incredibly slippery, and only experienced local drivers are allowed to drive here. Zojilas, India. When it comes to high mountain passes and treacherous roads, Ladakh in India is the first name that comes to mind, and those familiar with the roads in Ladakh think of Zojila Pass. Located at an altitude of approximately 3,528 meters, this pass separates the Kashmir Valley from the Das Valley. It is situated 9 kilometers from Sonamag and is an important link between Ladakh and Kashmir. Located on National Highway 1 between Srinagar and Leh, this pass is considered the second highest pass after Fotila, Karakoram Highway, Pakistan. To understand the dangers of the Karakoram, we must look at the cost of its construction. Built through a collaboration between Pakistan and China from 1959 to 1979, it is approximately 1,300 kilometers long. There's a famous saying that every kilometer of road costs a life. Around 810 Pakistani and 200 Chinese workers have lost their lives due to landslides, falls into ravines, or mine explosions. Its highest point is the Kungjarab Pass, located at an altitude of 4,693 meters above sea level. This is the world's highest border crossing, where the air is so thin that simply breathing is a challenge. Dalton Highway, Alaska. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline, also known as the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, is one of the northernmost roads in the world. Initially, this road was built to support the development of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline and to serve the oil fields. The first thing to know about the Dalton Highway is that it's not an ordinary highway. If you plan to drive on this road, remember that driving conditions are very difficult year-round, and services are extremely limited. The terrain begins with northern forests, crosses the Otagon Pass in the Brooks Range, and then transitions to Arctic hills and mountains. Typically, the roads are rough in both summer and winter, so it's important to drive a vehicle that's properly equipped for the conditions. Skipper's Canyon Road, New Zealand. If I had to use one phrase to describe driving here, it would be dance on the blade. The road is carved directly into the side of shale, a type of rock that crumbles easily. Not only are you facing a deep abyss right next to your tires, But you also have to worry about rocks that could fall from above. The road is so narrow the two cars going in opposite directions can barely pass each other, except for a few rare widening spots. On one side is a sheer cliff. On the other is the turbulent shot of a river below. The margin of error here is zero. It's unreal places. Atlantic Ocean Road, Norway. It is a national scenic route where the power of nature and engineering combine to create an unforgettable driving experience. Completed in 1989, after a construction period that endured 12 hurricanes, it stands in contrast to the coastal landscape. The route has many ideal spots for taking photos and is open year-round. Although autumn is particularly impressive when storms can cause strong waves to crash against the seawalls, you can admire the road and the surrounding islands from a boat between Christians and Mulder, Guam Tunnel Road, China. Before 1972, the village of Guam, nestled atop the Taiham Mountains, was almost completely isolated from the world. The only way to Resire to reach the village is to climb the stairway to
Coven, a steep, narrow and extremely dangerous stone staircase. In 1972, a group of 13 young men from the village decided to undertake a project digging a road through the Rocky Mountain. Because it was carved entirely by hand, the road surface and rock walls are very rough and uneven. The dark tunnel winding along the mountainside creates deadly blind spots for drivers. Stelvio Pass, Italy. The pass is a mountain pass in the Alps, located at the northwestern foot of the Ortles Mountains in northern Italy. One of the highest road passes in Europe. It connects the Venosta Valley in the northeast with the Tilina Valley. The winding road built between 1820 and 1824 offers spectacular views of the nearby glaciers. With a total of approximately 60 hairpin bends, this road has made it onto the must-visit list for many road trip enthusiasts. It remains important for sports, as it is open from May to November. Countless cyclists and motorcyclists struggled to reach the highest point in the Eastern Alps. Leh Manali Highway, India.
Located at an average altitude of over 4,000 meters, the approximately 428 kilometers long road connects Manali with Leh. This is a strategic lifeline, but also a nightmare for faint-hearted drivers amidst the unreal places. The most dangerous thing here isn't just the sheer cliffs, but the oxygen deprivation syndrome. At an altitude of 5,328 meters, the air is so thin that even a slight movement can make you dizzy. You might start in bright sunshine, but just 30 minutes later, you're caught in a snowstorm, even in the middle of summer. Kishwa Killer Road, India, known as the Cliff Road. It is a narrow, notoriously dangerous mountain road in the Himalayas of India. Famous for its sheer cliffs, rugged terrain, and breathtaking scenery, this is a dramatic and high-risk route for adventurous drivers and motorcyclists. A winding mountain trail carved into the cliffs is often only wide enough for one vehicle to pass through. But besides that, it's a major attraction for adventure seekers and off-road enthusiasts. Ravine, 99 Bend Road to Tanmen Mountain, China. Construction of the 99 Curve Skywalk at Zhangjiajie Tanmen Mountain National Forest Park began in 1998. The project took 7 years to complete, at a cost of over 100 million yuan. It was completed and opened to traffic in May 2005. This winding mountain road begins at the foot of the mountain and stretches a total of 10.77 kilometers with 99 sharp hairpin bends. Its elevation is approximately 1,100 meters above sea level. Famous as a wonder and known as one of the 10 most dangerous roads in the world, Rohtang Pass, India. The first terrifying aspect isn't the steepness, but its very name, in ancient Tibetan, Rohtang meaning pile of corpses. It stems from the fact that thousands of people in the past lost their lives trying to cross the pass due to sudden snowstorms. This serves as a stark reminder that nature here leaves no room for error. Unlike smooth paved roads, Rohtang is frequently covered in a thick layer of mud from melting snow. Sometimes you have to drive across fast-flowing streams cascading down cliffs. Onto the road Kardonla, India, with an altitude of approximately 5,359 meters above over sea level, although local signs often state the legendary figure of 5,062 meters. The terrain here consists mostly of rubble, muddy ground from melting snow and sheer cliffs without any barriers. Temperatures can drop to minus 40 degrees C in winter, and snowstorms can strike at any time, even in the middle of summer. At this altitude, oxygen levels are only about 50% of those at sea level. Altitude sickness can cause disorientation, nausea, and even pulmonary edema. The engine's power is significantly reduced, and the braking system is prone to overheating or losing effectiveness due to pressure fluctuations. Trollstigen, Norway. This is the northernmost section of Highway 63, between Åndalsnes and Valldal. This 6 kilometers mountain pass features 11 hairpin bends on a 9% gradient, with the highest point of the pass reaching nearly 850 meters. Due to its narrow width and extremely sharp curves, vehicles longer than 12.4 meters are prohibited from using this road. From the parking lot, it's just a 10-minute walk to an observation deck, where you can admire the winding road and the nearby waterfall. After 8 years of construction, it is considered a remarkable feat of Norwegian engineering and construction. Unsurprisingly, it is one of the most visited tourist attractions in Norway. Los Caracals Pass, Chile. The name Los Caracals means snail pass in Spanish. The road features a series of sharp curves, stacked one on top of the other, like the spirals of a snail shell. The climate is almost year-round, covered in snow and ice, making the roads as slippery as a suspended ice rink. What makes Los Caracals so dramatic isn't the small passenger cars, but the oversized, heavy-duty trucks. This is a vital artery for transporting goods between the two countries. Imagine a container truck tens of meters long, having to make a 180-degree turn on a narrow road with a bottomless abyss beside it. Sony Pass, South Africa. Statistically, and in every respect, it is the greatest mountain pass in South Africa. Africa far surpassing all its rivals in terms of distance. Located between KwaZulu-Natal and Lofo, built around 1950, it remains a challenging trek for four-wheel drive vehicles. With all the drama, spectacular scenery, and the inherent treacherous conditions of a mountain pass at an altitude of 2,876 meters. This is a high-altitude mountainous area, so be prepared for bad weather at any time, and expect snowfall at the latest. Snow has fallen on this pass in all months of the year, though not in the same year. To access from the west via Love, head southeast from Makotlong on the A14 road through the Black Mountain Pass. Maryline Pass, Vietnam, with its location featuring a sheer cliff on one side reaching to the sky and a deep abyss leading straight down. The hairpin bends are so sharp, the drivers sometimes feel like they're dancing on the edge of a knife. Thick fog can descend at any moment, turning the road into a treacherous labyrinth of gray rocks. This road was built by tens of thousands of volunteer youth and people from ethnic minorities from 1959 to 1965. At that time, the only tools available were hoes, shovels, crowbars, and explosives. The suicide workers had to hang themselves on the cliff face for a grueling 11 months to chisel away at the rock. Three-level zigzag road. Pakistan famous for his winding roads in Sikkim. Pakistan boasts picturesque and winding mountain roads, particularly along the Karakoram Highway leading to places like Narin, with countless winding curves offering exciting driving experiences and breathtaking views of the Himalayas. The famous three-tiered winding road with its distinctive hairpin bends is actually located in the Zuluk region of Sikkim. While Pakistan boasts spectacular winding mountain roads, this one bears the iconic features of the Indian Himalayas. Van Zyl Pass, Namibia. Located in the remote Cowald region of northwestern Namibia, Van Zyl Pass is not a road built by civil engineers. In fact, it is a natural trail filled with boulders, deep ravines, and sheer tunnels in the Royce and Taino river valleys. IRS Highway Australia, spanning approximately 1,675 kilometers. It connects South Australia and Western Australia. This is the only road that crosses the Nullor Plain, a region whose name in Latin means without trees. When you drive for hours on end on a straight road with no obstacles or turns, your brain enters a state of automation. Drivers are very likely to fall asleep with their eyes open, or lose their ability to react in unexpected situations. Aya Highway is not for dream drivers. It's a true test of mental fortitude. BR 167, Brazil. It is a Brazilian federal highway running along the country's coast. At 4,385 kilometers long, it is Brazil's second longest highway, running from north to south, almost parallel to the coastline. This road is the cause of thousands of fatal traffic accidents every year. With its terrible road surface, bad weather conditions, and frequent hazards due to its proximity to cliffs, it's hardly surprising. Furthermore, police patrols are infrequent, and drivers are frequently attacked by gangs and armed robbers. Luxor Al Hourada Road, Egypt. It connects two of Egypt's most famous tourist destinations, the ancient capital of Luxor and the Red Sea resort city of Hourada. Geographically, it's a smooth, flat stretch of asphalt, crossing a vast desert. It's been dubbed one of the world's most dangerous roads, not because of potholes, but because of the rules of the night. Local drivers have a habit of driving at high speeds at night, but with their headlights completely off. They believe this helps them avoid detection by robbers or simply allows them to see better in the moonlight. Canning Stock Route, Australia. Originally created by Albert Canning in 1908 to help cattle ranchers in the Kimberley transport their livestock to markets. Stretching 2,113 kilometers from Halls Creek to Woona and encompassing approximately 51 water wells. The Canning Stock Route is currently one of the world's most remote and challenging four-wheel drive routes. Those wishing to conquer this route need to be extremely well prepared before departure. Experience traveling in remote areas is essential, along with a reliable and well-functioning vehicle, specifically prepared for long journeys. Kabala Kasuro Road, Uganda. The winding road through the Kagazi Mountains will present you with continuous hairpin turns on steep cliffs. Due to the high altitude, dense fog frequently blankets the roads in the early morning, reducing visibility to almost zero. Local residents recount that every bend on this road is associated with tragic accidents in the past. Previously, traveling from Kabali to Kasoro could take an entire day because vehicles frequently broke down on the slopes. The danger of Kabali-Kasoro no longer lies in potholes or muddy terrain as before, but in the psychological aspect. Chang Pass, India. Located at an impressive altitude of 5,360 meters above sea level, Changla is the main gateway to Pangon So Lake. It is the world's third highest road accessible to motor vehicles. The name Changa means South Pass. Extremely well prepared before departure. Experience traveling in remote areas is essential, along with a reliable and well-functioning vehicle, specifically prepared for long journeys. Kabala Kasuro Road, Uganda. The winding road through the Kagazi Mountains will present you with continuous hairpin turns on steep cliffs. Due to the high altitude, dense fog frequently blankets the roads in the early morning, reducing visibility to almost zero. Local residents recount that every bend on this road is associated with tragic accidents in the past. Previously, traveling from Kabali to Kasoro could take an entire day because vehicles frequently broke down on the slopes. The danger of Kabali-Kasoro no longer lies in potholes or muddy terrain as before, but in the psychological aspect. Chang Pass, India. Located at an impressive altitude of 5,360 meters above sea level, Changla is the main gateway to Pangon So Lake. It is the world's third highest road accessible to motor vehicles. The name Changa means South Pass. North Coast Road, Matthias. This isn't a modern highway. It's a test of both mental fortitude and driving skill. On one side is a sheer cliff, on the other a deep abyss stretching straight out to the Indian Ocean. This road is famous for its sharp hairpin turns, so steep you feel like the back of your car is about to fly out into the sea. Sudden tropical downpours turn the road surface into a slippery battleground, while fog can obscure visibility in just seconds. Locals say that this road was built during the colonial period, originally intended as a trail for horse-drawn carriages. Cotopaxi Volcano Road, Ecuador. Part of Ecuador's stunning Volcano Avenue, a route along the Trans-American Highway offers breathtaking views. one of the world's highest active volcanoes, along with opportunities for hiking. However, accessing the higher points requires four-wheel drive vehicles and adaptability due to the altitude and harsh conditions. This area is very high, so acclimatization, appropriate equipment and hydration are crucial. Highway routes can be challenging, posing risks of strong winds, bad weather, and thin air that can affect vehicle performance. A 537 Cat and Fiddle UK. This is a road in England, located between Buckton and named after the Cat and Fiddle Inn pub. Formed from sections of the A537, A54, and A53, this road is famous for its spectacular views of the Greater Manchester urban area. It is extremely popular with motorcyclists and is often ranked as the most dangerous road in the UK. The route can be considered to begin in Buckton at the intersection of the A53 and the A504 Long Hill. It follows the A53 through the western suburbs of Buckton until it turns right onto the A54 at Ladman Low. K-Lima Highway, Russia. The story of the Kama Highway begins during the Stalin era, a project connecting Mardin with Yakutsk for resource exploitation. The road was built by hundreds of thousands of prisoners from the Gulag labor camps. In extreme working conditions, lacking food and rudimentary tools, tens of thousands perished. Because the permafrost was too hard to dig deep graves, the bodies of the deceased were buried directly beneath the surface. The road slopes steeply from the surface and is surrounded by dry stone walls for almost the entire length of the road.